Alright, hello and welcome to the Playing PvZ as Income Wars strategy tutorial. I'm your host, Entropy Fails. I sometimes play the map Income Wars, where you send waves of units to fight other units with no micro. I also was playing around with some battle simulations in mock battle, and when I noticed that pound for pound, Zealots with leg speed really murdered early Zerg armies, even if they had decent micro. I used SC2 Calc to notice that 3 warpgates can produce Zealots forever. A final plunge into SC2 build order helped me craft the fastest way to get 5 Zealots with light speed. The program came up with about 5 minutes and 50 seconds is the theoretical maximum that it came up with. I was not able to even come close to that, but I still decided to give the strategy a try out. Note that both myself and my opponent make many mistakes in this game, and I'm presenting this as a reference of the strategy, not as a perfect example of how you would implement it. Alright, so we're going to start this up here. We're going to let it go faster for a little bit here. At the start of the game, I guess I can give the usual shout-outs. Entropy Fails, spawning as the blue Protoss in the lower right-hand side, and Evil Cam as the red Zerg in the upper left-hand side. I drop a Pylon down at 9, which is, of course, normal and standard. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. And then we're going to wait and see. More probes, more probes, more probes. 12 gate. Yes. 12 gate. All right. And we're going to come around here. 13 Assimilator. And then here's an important one. 14 Assimilator. All right. And at this point, you should be transferring your probes over to the Assimilator. I got a little distracted by this probe for some reason. Ended up spending some time looking at it, even though it had a guy on auto attack, and I just don't know what to say about that. That was just a little nervous trying the strategy out. So we're going to go down and reduce the speed a little bit here, because we're going to see our tech path. Now I'm at 16. So I should be building a Cybernetics Core right now, but I decided to get that extra shot off on the drone. So now I've dropped the 16 core. I should be dropping another Pylon in a second here because I'm going to desperately need it. And we're going to wait. There's my 17 Pylon. Now also at the same time, I transfer probes over to gas. And so very quickly here, I will have a Twilight Council being able to be produced as soon as the Cybernetics Core finishes. Now, as soon as the Cybernetics Core finishes, you should also start on warpgate transformation. You'll have enough money to do that. We will see that the ever-distracting probe ended up throwing me off on my build order slightly because I'm not comfortable doing this yet, and I'm not getting a warpgate. What are you doing? This is the whole strat. Get warpgate. And now, obviously, I'm going to be much later. There's no way I'm going to get to 5 minutes and 50 seconds with 5 Zealots and the Twilight Council with a speed upgrade because of that mistake. But I've got my first Zealot out anyway. Pretty soon here I'm actually going to notice that I did not build warpgate technology. Yep, and there we go. And then I start chrono boosting that out. I start building another gateway. And then I start building researching my charge ability. And now my Zealot's charge is researched, and I'm going to expend my chrono boosting energy on that. In a few seconds here, I have enough money. I should have dropped it right now, but fairly soon, I'm going to be dropping. Yep, there it is, my next gateway. All right. And so now let's look at the structure of this. I have 3 gateways. I've got a Cybernetics Core with warp gates almost done, and a Twilight Council with charge almost done. I'm at the 605 mark. And you can see, if I refined my play a little bit, I could come up with a much better build order. I also tried to build a tunnel. I think this probably should have been out a little bit. The idea is if you get it all in, then you will have these Zealots being produced from here that you can run back around here and create a never-ending blockade. It would be better if I just had a one-spot wall in the entire way. You might want to make that either here with these buildings or however you would want to do that. That's just another possibility. But the idea is, of course, create a tunnel so that your Zealots do not have to fight everything out in the open where they can run around them, especially before they've got the leg speed when they're basically worthless. They're just going to be little defending posts. All right, so now we're going to speed up through this replay a little bit here because I'm going to do a little bookkeeping while I'm waiting for that. Send my Zealots out You can see, drop a pylon there. I had a proxy pylon. And now you heard that warp gate technology being researched. So now let's look at the complete product. Zealot, charge. Warp gates, research. 3 gates. And now you can see, because of those missed micro, I ended up with 800 more minerals than I should have. I will never go to much more than 800 minerals now, because as I am constantly producing, I'm basically constantly getting that money back from there. It's a net sum of almost exactly 0. You're not making any money, and you're not going to lose any money, and you're just going to have lots of zealots forever. So this is a one base all-in push. All right, so we're going to speed this up again. We're going to wait for this to come down, and there I have the initial units. And faster makes it hard to click, apparently, especially when doing some screen share here. So we're going to just do a good old backing up. Yeah, there we go. All right, and so we're going to put this down at just normal faster. All right. I'm going to see here. Now I've got my second warp in, and my other couple units are coming to join me, so I feel comfortable in taking this army with leg speed and running in here. At the time, Zerg has some speedlings. He has a spine crawler. He has 3 queens. He's got a roach warren and a hydralisk den going up. The roach warren was slightly late, obviously, but even with a lot of roach, even if he spent money on roaches, he would have a tough time. He doesn't have a whole lot of money that could have been converted into roaches. Then I started sending my guys, strangely on the Assimilator. I'm not entirely certain of that decision. The Zerglings pop out, and I decide to just throw a bunch of my army over there and keep him occupied while I start pounding away at his base. I send some of them over here to take a hydralisk, some of them over to take the roach. Of course, I was supposed to click back around over there and then attack. That would have worked, but I didn't do that, so that kind of failed. I decided to take out the tech structures as fast as possible. Spawning pools can mean no Zerglings, and roach warrens can mean no zealots, and I really don't care if they've got some hydralisks out. It's not really going to be a problem. Now, I'm going to pause it for a minute. We're going to go back a few, and we're going to watch what I do for the warp in. And then one more back. Alright. And one more back. And we'll watch this again. Alright, so then I take a zealot, I send it out over here to get vision. Because I have a probe over here, and I don't really make any good use of him. That probe should be in the base, dropping a few pylons to extend this push. The idea is to be like Income Wars, continue to use this spot right here to create units and send them off. Those units should be sent off. Yes, there they go. Now we see them sent off. And continue to just stream units into the base. Much like in the early game of Income Wars, where you just send wave after wave, you're really not that concerned with any units. You're not that too concerned with micro. I didn't even look over here at this battle. I had no idea up until now that these zealots were actually over there trying to fight the drones. So what I've done here in the basic strategy, you can see we're just going to continue this. It's not going to be any different. Boom, 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 no matter what he produces. I've got just lots of zealots with leg speed. 2 times faster is good enough. You can see that. See, here's the last real big battle. But then I've got more guys. 3 more coming in. And he's got no ability to produce them. He's got no second base. He does have a base, and it is still mining. He did not drop a spawning pool fast enough after he lost the spawning pool, because he was too concerned with the micro up here, which is a mistake that a lot of people will end up making in this situation, because the micro is going to be everything. The only chance you have of surviving it is if you out-micro the zealots, but if you're spending your time out-microing the zealots, maybe you're missing on some macros. So I have the zealots continue to slam away at the lair, because I know more is going to be coming in. And just like Income Wars, continue to send them around. Obviously, you get a little bit better than Income Wars because you can actually target. Zealots have killed this off. Now the spawning pool is finished off, so we're going to get Zerglings and spine crawlers here. But it's too late at this point. We've already dealt far too strong of damage, and in a few seconds here, my opponent is going to GG out. GG. The basic idea behind the strategy is the usual 9 pylon, 12 gate, but then a 13 assimilator and a 14 assimilator. Throw a bunch of probes on gas, get your normal 16 Cybernetics Core, 17 pylon, and then at 18, drop that Twilight Council, and then research warp gate at the same time. Continue to get gas and build 3 gateways, and chrono your cyber core once in your Twilight Council, when you start researching your charge technology. The basic idea is to get the charge up as fast as possible, and to get the warp gate up as fast as possible, and to get a Pylon proxied somewhere near their base, so you can play a small little version of Income Wars and just use that to overwhelm your opponent. It ends up being probably not the highest level strat, but it's a little bit of cheese that I thought was kind of fun to execute, and I just wanted to share it with the world. So thank you very much for listening to the Playing PvZ as Income Wars strategy tutorial. I've been your host, Entropy Fails.